the table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel. Wrap this skin, roll dice and rolls of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, focus reflected. Off the mirrors appear clear, gritty from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Tuesday before Game 5 for the Thunder. And so looking forward to that tonight. Got my overalls on tonight. Got my overalls on, my Thunder overalls. I don't know if you can see them. That's good. I think that's a good picture. Can you see that? Got my new Thunder overalls on. Ready for the game tonight. Ready for the Thunder to do their thing. So anyway, back to, before we get started with all that, let's give our condolences to Jason Tatum. I believe when I saw that injury, I believe right away he tore his Achilles, because my first one that I tore both of mine, by the way. And when I tore my first one, I did the exact same thing. It was like 3 minutes to go in a game. I'm playing at the Y in Norman, and it's summertime, and it's hot. It's 100 something degrees in there. If you've been in the Y, you know what I'm talking about. It's no air conditioning, that bad boy. It was just hot. And I just took a step. Somebody shot a three. I just took a step to go for the rebound, and it went pop. And it was weird, as all the black people in the gym kind of ducked like that. And all the white people just kind of looked around. I thought that was really funny that happened because, I don't know if it's because we grew up or whatever, but I just thought it was hilarious that we all just kind of, ducked like, who got shot? And it was my Achilles. And so when he went down and he was crying, I knew immediately he knew what it was. I knew what it was, okay? And so my heart goes out to Jason Tatum and his family, Big Deuce, for what happened, okay? And but that being said, I don't think it would have made a difference in the game. I think New York was still going to win in that game. And but Jason Tatum was, what did he have, 40 at that time, 39 or 40 or whatever at that time, 42 or something ridiculous. And he was rolling, actually at 40 something. He was rolling. But my heart goes out to him because I can tell you right now, he's going to miss all of next year. He won't be back because that's every bit of an 8 or 9 month injury. And this is what? May? And so you got to figure 8 months from now is January. So, I mean, to me, I just if I'm the Celtics, I just sit him and let him sit all next year, let him rest, give him a year and a half to get better. Remember when Kevin Durant got hurt with the Golden State Warriors? He sat out a year and a half, he came back, and he was fine. So to me, Jason Tatum misses all next year. Like Kyrie got hurt earlier, I think he misses all next year. He got hurt earlier. But to me, I was like, you just set him out for a whole year. You let him rest. You let him rehab. You get him ready for the next following year, which I think will help Kyrie with his ability to re-sign with the Mavericks, especially now that they got Cooper Flag. So that makes all the difference to me on what happens with that. So anyway, like I said, my heart goes out to him. But like I said, I knew immediately what it was because that's exactly the same thing happened to me. You'd take that step, and you lean forward, and it just goes pop. He knew immediately. He went down. He knew immediately. That's why he was there crying. He called timeout. Celtics didn't call timeout. He called timeout. Because he knew, I'm not getting up. I got to get help. I got to get off the field, off the floor. And but anyway, it was a tough loss for the Celtics. But they're now done. But we said this yesterday on the Unpopular Hour that I believe that whoever won that game last night was going to win the series. If Boston won, it was going to be 2-2. I think they would be rolling and beat the Knicks. If the Knicks won 3-1, I believe the Celtics were done, and especially now with Jason Tatum being out. I think the game 5 in Boston, tomorrow, I think the Celtics have a chance to win simply because their guy has gone out. He's down for the year. He's out, and I think the crowd and everything uh, will be behind him 100%. But for them not to know what it was, I promise you, Jason Tatum knew what happened. The trainers immediately knew what happened. Everybody knew that he tore his Achilles. Everybody knew that because this is how you know. If you feel your Achilles right above your heel, there's like this little stretch, this little band that you feel. It's a little band there. But when you tear your Achilles, you squeeze, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's gone. And your foot has no fly. Remember when Kobe did his and went and shot the free throw? There's nothing. It's gone. So that's what happened. He knew immediately. And when he reached down and grabbed his ankle like that, I said, oh, man, shit, his Achilles. So as a person who's torn both of mine, I know what a grueling injury it is. I know how long it takes to come back. Remember when Aaron Rodgers got hurt? In the first game of this year? What was that those 2 years ago? And it took him, and it was a whole year before he was able to come back. And I think, like for me, Jason Tatum, a whole year for him to come back and be really healthy, which will make them in June of next year, May of next year. Why are you just sit out till the next year and come back and play kind of like what Kevin Durant did after he got hurt with Golden State. So that being said, I didn't think there was any chance of them coming back anyways. Okay, so that's just me. Tonight we have two games, two different types of games that are on display tonight. We have the Pacers and the Cavaliers to start out. The Cavaliers are minus 7.5-point favorites over the Pacers, and but I believe the Cavaliers will win. Donovan Mitchell is a game-time decision. I don't see how he doesn't play. But anyway, he's a game-time decision. I do believe the Pacers will beat them going back in Game 6. I believe the Cavaliers will probably win tonight simply because they're at home. The crowd will be ridiculously crazy there in Cleveland. If Donovan comes back and plays, that will just make it that much more much-watch TV, number one. Number two, I think the Celtics the Cavaliers will just beat them simply because pride factor. And it's just unfortunate that they had the second-best overall record and failed to win. But I didn't have them going to the finals anyway. And if you remember, I didn't pick them to go to the finals. I picked Boston to play our Thunder in the finals. I did not have them winning. So, I mean, I thought they would get beat. They'd beat the Pacers. But the Pacers came out, bust them in the mouth early, and the most overrated player in the NBA. That's just a freaking joke. That's just a joke. Because I had him 2 years ago, Tyrese Halliburton, when he was playing with the USA team. I was like, before in the World deal, I was like, this guy right here is the guy. He needs to make it. And when he made the Olympic team, and I see where the coach goes hard. How are you going to play him, really? Where are you going to play? He can play some, and he did play some, but for the most part, those games were way too tight. You had to win. Steve Kerr did not want to lose, so I understand that. But Tyrese Halliburton is one of my favorite players. I really, 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 really like Tyrese Halliburton a whole lot. Then, of course, the main game tonight, the Nuggets at the Thunder. 2-2. It should be 3-1. The coach you all love, the coach that, I believe in Mark, and I've been griping about him, gave a game away. Now remember, last year, same scenario. 2-2. We had to win Game 5 in Dallas. What did SGA do? Go off against Dallas, made 6 in a row or 7 in a row, whatever it was, shots down the stretch in order for us to make sure we got to Game 5. And what did Dagnall do? Game 5 changed the starting lineup. That cost us Game 5. What's he going to do in Game 5 this time? How is he going to change up, try to be smart and analytical, and what's he going to do? Mr. I can't read the room. Mr. Minutes Manager. Mr. My lineups suck. Mr. I don't understand the flow of the game. What is he going to do dumb today? to cause the Thunder to lose Game 5 against the Nuggets. Now, we're 9.5-point favorites. 221.5 is the over-under. By the way, the Cavaliers 229.5 minus 7.5 is that. I'd probably take the Pacers in the under. Pacers and the under in this game. I think it's going to be physical. I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored. I think the game is going to be tight. So I would take the Pacers and the under because I don't know if Cleveland can beat them by 7.5 points. Now for the Thunder tonight, 9.5, I'm going to take us in the points all the way around because number one, I'm going to say the under on the points because this is why. The Thunder, as before the playoffs started, remember guys, I picked the playoffs who I thought we were going to win, who was going to be where, and I wanted the Nuggets over the Clippers because the Nuggets were only playing 7-8 players. And they went into, I said they were playing a 6-game series, the same thing with the Lakers. I wanted the Lakers to play 6-7, so by the time we got to them, they would be beat up. So they played 7 games instead of 6. And remember, this is game 12 for them in 24 days or 25 days. That's how many games they played. And I said that I wanted the series between them and the Clippers to go long because by the time games 4, 5, and 6 came, that they would be beat up and physically just tired. And that's what's happened. They have been physically beat up and they're tired. They are absolutely tired. And when you look at the series and you look at here's the points, and this is what I mean by them physically being tired. These are through games 1 through 3. Okay? Now this SGA thing is through 4 games. But these first stats are through 3 games. Okay? We're beating them in the first quarter, beating them in the second quarter, beating them in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter, they outscored us. Why? Because of Dagnall's inability or unwillingness to change how he does lineups. And as I've said many times, first quarter, third quarter, take J-Dub at the 5-minute mark, not the 2-minute mark, not the 3-minute mark. And here's the difference between Dagnall and how he treats J-Dub versus he treats SGA. If J-Dub is rolling, he keeps J-Dub in the game. If SGA is rolling, he takes SGA out. You go back and you look, you pay attention. If SGA is rolling, he takes SGA out. If J-Dub is rolling, he plays longer because that's his guy. And we're not going to win with J-Dub as the man. He's a number 2, and as my guy Nathan Taylor says, he's a 3. I think he's a 2B. Him and Chet 2A, him 2B, and Nathan Taylor believes he's a 3. So when you look at these numbers, those numbers went significantly down. Burgess, what's going on, big dog? How you doing? Afternoon to you too. These numbers go down. Now, here's my problem with what Dagnall does. J-Dub had played more minutes than SGA until game 4. Here's the simple scenario, okay? J-Dub played 5 minutes less than SGA and we won. Here's the scenario. You take J-Dub out and he plays 14 minutes in the first and third quarter. 14 minutes, 7 in each quarter. That's 14 minutes. Then you play him for the first 5 minutes, let's say 6 minutes. Okay, so that's 12. Okay? So that's 12 plus your 14. So that's 26 minutes. Then you bring him back in at the 4-minute mark or the 3-minute mark. Let's say the 4-minute mark. Okay, let's just be generous here. So that puts him at 8 minutes, right? So that's 34 minutes. Now with SGA, he plays the first quarter and third quarter. That's 4:24. He plays the 7-minute mark or 6-minute mark, the 6-minute mark. That's 12. Right? That's 36 minutes. So I was even more generous time, but I think that it should be J-Dub 7 minutes, 14. J-Dub 5 minutes, 5 minutes, or let's say 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 12. That's 26. and then he comes back in at the 4 minute mark or the 3 minute mark. That's 6 more. That's 32 minutes, and that gives SGA 38 minutes. So he should be 32, 33 minutes. SGA should be 38 to 40 minutes, depending on how it is. That's how you win. SGA plus minus was this year was plus 918 this year. We are in the playoffs now. Plus 12.5 with him on the floor, minus 10.9 with him on the bench. He set the playoff record for plus 51 in the plus minus in one game. Yeah, you're reading that correctly. Now, your coach is a analytical person. And if you're looking at these three numbers that I just gave you, or those two numbers, he's a plus 12.5 on the court. You're a minus 10.5 with him on the bench. And you keep him on the bench and you play somebody more than him. That you are a plus with this other guy on the bench. You're a plus with this guy on the court. SGA, you're a minus 10 with him off the court. And yet you sit him more and let that other guy play more minutes. You're not going to win. But once again, the Thunder are struggling because of what have I said. This guy is not the guy. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't. He is set in what he wants to do, where he wants to put the Thunder, where he wants to play J-Dub. All that stuff is facts. It's what he does. But until he learns that SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and either J. Will or iHeart, and with Chet, not in this series with Chet, but when J. Will or iHeart, that's when you win. Now, if Jokic is not on the floor, then yes, Chet. But if Jokic is on the floor, neither iHeart or J. Will with those other four. But instead, what does he start in the second and fourth quarters? J-Dub, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and iHeart. The group that works with SGA, he tries to make work with J-Dub. No, and this is the reason why it doesn't work with J-Dub as well as it does with SGA. Number one, you don't have a ball handler with that group, number one. You don't have a guy who can handle the ball. J-Dub can't handle the ball against pressure. Kaysen can't. Caruso can't. Wiggins can't. And iHeart, J. Will, or Chet. None of them can handle the pressure with somebody guarding, bringing the ball to the floor. Not one of them. With SGA, you have somebody to bring the ball up, who can get you into the sets, who can do one-on-one things to make everybody guard him. He can kick it out to the wings, to Wiggins hitting a three, to Caruso hitting a three, to Kaysen hitting a three. Okay? So you got Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, all of them can hit threes. And then if you put J. Will in there, yes, he can knock down a three. So you got 5 guys who can shoot three, 4 of them who can hit wide open shots based off the double teams that SGA is receiving to kick the ball to them and make them make plays. Because what did I say? We have one playmaker and we have guys who make plays. And for those of you all who are new to the channel, this is what I mean by that. The one guy we have who can make plays is SGA. Is a playmaker, I'm sorry. The rest of the guys make plays, which means they don't have to create and make anything happen. They just have to make a play off what somebody else has created for them. That's the difference between having a playmaker and a guy who makes plays. That's the difference. We have a playmaker, one. Because when J-Dub tries to make a play, Kaysen tries to make a play, Caruso tries to make a play, Chet tries to make a play, iHeart tries to make a pass to J-Dub, which he tries to do all the time. That's his guy. He will overlook everything to try to get J-Dub for a cut because he understands the dynamics of the locker room. They know who the coach wants. They know who the coach thinks is the best guy. They know that SGA does it without his consent, just does whatever the hell he wants because he knows it's BS. I trust me more than I trust them. And that's what happened in Game 3. He did not come through. Game 4, he did kind of, except he made 3 horrible decisions at the end of the game. But he had, 9 points in the fourth quarter, came in early, took J-Dub out. We won the game. J-Dub came in. When SGA came in, we were down. When J-Dub came back in, we were up. And in a flow. It's not rocket science here. But when this guy who doesn't who can't read the room, who is a minutes manager, who's 2 minutes too long, who doesn't understand lineups and doesn't get flow of the game. Those are his weaknesses. His strengths are building up players, and his strength is calling out of bounds plays, which we saw in Game 3 when he made that out of bounds play, or was that Game 3? Yeah, Game 3, when he made the out of bounds play to to SGA. SGA dunks the ball. Now, in hindsight, if SGA knew that they were going to pass it to Gordon and Caruso was going to foul him 80 feet from the other goal, 7 seconds left, no timeouts, Jokic on the bench, Aaron Gordon is dribbling the ball against Caruso. What are the odds of Aaron Gordon getting the ball up the floor to take a good shot with less than 7 seconds left for them to win the game? How is that? That was Game 1, I'm sorry. How is that possible? Not going to happen. But once again, he says, oh, well, we're playing the odds. No, you're not. Playing the odds is when you're behind, you do that. Or if there's 3 or 4 seconds, then you foul. Yes, because you make the first one, you go up 3, you make it, you go up 4, you make both free throws, or if you're up 3, yes, you foul them and you get the rebound with 3 seconds left. The chances of them getting a rebound and doing it are astronomical. Because then you put Chet, J. Will down there. If they can get a rebound with one of them 3 underneath, then yeah, by all means get one. But once again, his lack of ability to coach is what? You look at Joe Mazzulla last night. He has Chauncey Billups on the bench. I saw him talking to this younger coach this morning. He was talking to Chauncey Billups. I mean, not Chauncey Billups, but Sam Cassell last night. Remember who his coach was last year, who's now with the Clippers. This is the deal. You have to be able to understand the game. Peyton Pritchard played 20 minutes last night. He couldn't get on the court. Why is Peyton Pritchard not in the game more? When the game gets tight and guys who don't get it and who don't understand, they don't know how to feel. They don't understand. They make mistakes when it's on them. That's what happens. That's what happened to the Knicks last night. To the Celtics last night. Pressure was on. With us. What did we happen in Game 4? Game 3, Game 4. SJ said, look, Game 3 I messed up. Game 4 I'm not going to. Now, he did make 3 bad mistakes in a row, but he did have 9 points in order to get us going. And he made huge shots to get in the floor. Every time he got into a floor, he got close, he'd make a shot. But when he came time to put the game away, he shot 2 crazy threes and then lost the ball on taking the ball. Then he comes right back and scores again. That's how you do it. I want the ball in his hands. And then we had a guy on my chat, in our chat on After the Storm, our Thunder postgame show, talking about SJ's stat. No, he ain't. Shut the hell up. No, he's not. What he's doing is saying, I'm going to win or lose this game. What did Brunson do last night? What did they do? Tom Thibodeau, give it to Brunson. We're going to win or lose based on what this guy does. The Thunder, you put it in SJ's hands to make free throws or to do whatever. We're putting it in your hands. We're going to win or lose on you. You're my best player. You take us home or we go home. As a W or we go home as a loser. One or the other. But it's on you, big fella. I'm not giving it to J-Dub. I'm not giving it to Chet. You gave it to Chet, to J-Dub in the Game 4. Almost lost that game. Gave him a chance to win. You gave it to Chet instead of SGA in Game 1. Lost that game. And I predicted that after Game 4 against Memphis. I said that. Now, if you think that the Nuggets are not going to come out with tons of energy, hell yes they are, because you saw the numbers on what they were doing. Yes, they're going to come out and they're going to play. Yes, they're going to come out and try to get this game because they understand. You go down 3-2, they have a game in 2 days. They haven't gotten any rest. Now, granted, they talked about how it was unfair because they played, Friday night, late game, and then turn around and play an early game on Sunday. Really? Come on, guys. Quit giving Jokic excuses. Quit giving Denver excuses. What has happened is they played 7 games in 14 days. He got beat up. Then you turn around and you play against us and you're getting beat up by Hartenstein. You're getting beat up by J. Will. Every time you turn around to put the ball on the floor, multiple dribbles, somebody's coming from the opposite direction to make you pick the ball up. So you can't continually get in position. You can't throw the backside because we're covering up. Then you kick it to the corner, somebody's running out there to contest the three. And what happens when you get tired? What is the first thing to go when you are tired? Your legs. And when your legs go, what does that mean? You start missing jump shots. That's what happens. Those are the things that are undeniable. That's how the game is played. That's the way the game works. If your legs get tired, you can't shoot threes. You got to go to the basket. You got to get to the free throw line. I said in my notes, when we fouled, they couldn't make a shot. And then we fouled Brown, and he made 4 straight free throws. And he came back and started knocking down threes after that. Why? He got in rhythm. I was taught, man, if you're missing shots, go to the free throw line, get some free throws, get in rhythm. I tell my kids, if you're missing shots, the first thing you do is try to drive the lane, get to the free throw line, shoot 4 or 5, 6 free throws in a row. That will get your form or your rhythm back for you to knock down shots. The game is really simple, guys. It's not complicated. You don't have to get all this other stuff. It's really not complicated. It's really easy. But you got to understand what your strengths, what your weaknesses are. Our strength is you're plus 12 with SGA on the court, you're minus 10 with him on the floor, on the bench. And you're playing somebody more and sitting him more. Plays the whole first quarter, plays the whole third quarter, started the second and fourth quarter. You bring him in at the 7-minute mark or 6, whatever the timeout is that you get one every game, second and fourth quarter. Take J-Dub out. You have SJ in with Case and Caruso, Wiggins, and either J. Will or iHeart. You run that for 3 minutes to 4 minutes. You bring J-Dub in to close out the second quarter and close out the fourth quarter. You'll win. You will win. But if you play J-Dub the whole fourth quarter like you've been doing, we're going to get beat. You have to pull him. Now, this guy's an analytics guy. There's no way in hell he don't know that. But once again, he's trying to develop J-Dub into something he's not. He's not going to be a 3-time in a row all first team, all NBA. He's not going to be an MVP. No matter how good of a guy, coach you think you are, he does not have that ability. He does not have that skill set. No matter how good you think you are, that's your own ego. That's you wrapped up into, look how I developed Kaysen. Look how I developed J-Dub. Look how I've developed Chet. Look how I've developed Wiggins. Look how I've developed Dort. Yeah, that's great. But in the playoffs, everybody has to have a role. You have to cut down the playing time. And what is our playing asset? SGA, J-Dub, Dort, iHeart, Chet, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins. Then you got Isaiah Joe, and you got J. Will if you need him. Isaiah Joe, if he's not knocking down shots right away, sit him down like he did in Game 4. Can't play. If he's not knocking down threes, he can't play. I love Isaiah Joe. But I also understand his limitations and what he can and cannot do. If he's not knocking down threes, hey, bro, come sit down. Sorry. It's nothing against him. It's not I don't like him. I like him. But, hey, bro, hey, you got to sit down. Can't play you. Those are the facts. That's how it works. Take this time to thank our sponsors. Or SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveyor, and planning, hit my guy Mark Long up there. Any of those guys over there will take care of you, especially if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, because we always say, who the hell does not like clean drinking water? Everybody does. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guy Jose up. He'll take care of you and make sure that's done if you have a road construction company, or if you're redoing a house and you need some help, because he's done that for my guy Drew Henthorn. If you need something done, hey, hit my guys up. They'd love to come out and take care of you. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into the main bank, one of the 5 locations, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road, YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks, and I-40, just south of I-40. Cannot miss it. And then, of course, YB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd, between Rockwell and MacArthur. Cannot miss it. Okay? And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Guys, this is some great smelling stuff. Oh, man, it's good. It is so, so good. It really is. And as we always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. So go into the Penn Square Mall, they're the dealer's location, tell them that I sent you, and they will give you free samples of the perfume and of the cologne. And I'm going to tell you what, for women, they've got some good smelling stuff for some perfume. They've got some new stuff in Lady in White, I think is what it's called. That stuff is delicious. Go get it. It was really good. If my girl Beth is there, go see her. If not, just tell them that I sent you, that Matt Clark sent you in there, and they'll give you a couple free samples of the perfume and the cologne. So if you're a woman and you want some, go in there, and then if you're a man, get your man stuff and do that. And I can promise you, it's good stuff. It's good stuff, and then hook your significant other up. I can promise you, it is so, so good. My girl Maya Carter, what did she say? Hopefully SGA will wake up tonight. Maya, this is my thing with SGA. He sat, and I said this after he tied KD for the most 20-point games in a row at 72. I said that I was worried that he was going to sit off for so long before the playoffs began. Now, I said his two worst teams that he's had the toughest series against are the Memphis Grizzlies and the Houston Rockets. Those are two teams he struggles with the most. He doesn't struggle against Detroit or Denver. He doesn't struggle against the Lakers. He doesn't struggle against the Clippers. He doesn't struggle against Minnesota. He doesn't struggle against the Warriors. But those two teams in the playoffs, I was worried about. And he got them right off the bat. And he struggled. He played okay, but he struggled. Then here comes the Nuggets. And we took time off again before we played the Nuggets. And he just has sat for so long. He is just not in rhythm. He's had 2 games. And out of 8, he's had 2. And that's because our whole team as a whole, and I was worried about this, us being off so long, being so young, we really haven't gotten back into full rhythm yet. We had one game 2, where SGA was he plus 51 or something stupid, which set the NBA record for plus minus playoff record. So when you do that, what happens is, like I said, what I was afraid of is taking so long. In our young team, we have not played well yet, except one game, kind of. But I don't, like I said, after game 2, I didn't want that. I didn't want us killing them in game 2. That is not what I wanted. I wanted us to win game 2, but I didn't want us to kill them in game 2. Because I knew game 3, they were going to be rested, and it was going to be a tougher deal. And what did they do? They outscored us in the fourth quarter and beat us. Game 4, we came back 2 days later, and they fell apart in the fourth quarter. That's why I'm saying tonight I want to win by 12, 10, 12, 15 points, where the Jokic plays, Jamal Murray plays, Porter plays, Gordon plays. They all play a bunch. Why? Because this is their 12th game in 24 days. So I want them to be able to play a bunch, because when game 6 on Thursday comes, they will be tired and we will physically beat them up, because our physicality, like I said right before the playoffs started, if we played these guys, the physicality of what they're going to have to go through to the two teams, the team that they played before, and then the physicality they're going to meet from us by times game 4, 5, and 6 come, the Thunder will have the advantage because of the physicality that we play with on defense, number 1. Number 2, this is the playoffs, so what do the referees let you do? Play tougher. And number 3, we're younger and we can rebound faster, or rebound faster, but not as in rebounds, but we can come back quicker. Okay? We generate the energy faster. Why? Because our average age is 23? Something crazy is what we are. So that allows us to get back and be ready faster than it will somebody like them who are older. So that's why tonight I don't want them blowing us out. And my guy Randy Wright, the commander, we were talking on text, and he says he wants Isaiah Joe to show up. I said, I agree, but I don't want Isaiah Joe to go off like he did in game 2 and then not be a no show in Game 6. If Isaiah Joe's going to go off, I'd rather him go off in Game 6 than Game 5. Now I do want us to win, and I've said this before. If SJ is rolling, and then you got Isaiah Joe, and you've got Dort, and you've got Wiggins knocking down threes, we're not going to get beat. I don't care who we play. If SJ is rolling, and Joe, Wiggins, and Dort are hitting threes, we're not going to get beat. I don't care who it is. We're gonna smash everybody. But my thing is this: we need to play enough to get back into the flow. Because Minnesota gives us problems. Why? Because they're long. Remember, we beat them 2-2, and should have beat them 3-1. That last game, what did they do? What did Denver do? Went into a zone, same thing that Minnesota did. Boxing one SGA and made guys make plays. And we couldn't make shots. Messed 3 after 3 after 3. Coach, call a timeout and say, hey, take the ball to the basket. Quit shooting threes. We're not making them. Let's get to the basket. We can't keep shooting threes and let them get back in the game. Attack the basket. That's what you have to do. You have to attack. You just can't sit there and go, oh, I'm open for 3. Go to the basket. Get a layup. We missed what, 12 straight threes or something stupid? How are you shooting that many threes? Call timeout and say, attack the basket. Quit shooting threes. Pull up and shoot a mid-range. Get into rhythm. That's not what we did. 3 after 3 after 3, miss after miss. They got back in the game and the game was over. Burgess says, we need this 18 from Chet. J-Dub with 25. We need 18 from Chet and J-Dub. Okay, sorry about that, Burgess. 18 from Chet and J-Dub. And then 25 total from the bench. The last game the bench had, let me see how many points did they have. I know I have that in here. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull this up. That's not it. We outscored them 35-8 bench scorings in Game 4. 35-8, Burgess. 35-8. So we need at least 35 again from the bench because, as you said, I think in the chat the other night, we won because of Wiggins, Caruso, and Kaysen. That's why we won Game 4. Now, SJ did close the door and have 9 points in the fourth quarter and all that, but Kaysen, Caruso, and Wiggins won the game for us, without question. Because none of them, listen, Wiggins, don't try to go out and make plays, catch the ball, knock down threes. And remember, he missed a transitional 3, and I had tried to explain that to everybody. In transitional threes, it's hard to come down and you're not in rhythm and catch and then pull up because transitional threes are all about rhythm. You get a nice rhythm. That's a rhythm shot. I'm dribbling and I'm pulling up. It's all about being in rhythm, and you have to be in rhythm to be able to knock down a transition 3. And what a transition 3 is, I'm dribbling down the court, and I'm coming up on my goal, and the opposing the defenders are fading back, getting toward the goal, and you pull up and you shoot the ball at the 3-point line. That's called a transition 3. And those only work when you're in a flow of the game. Then it's easy to shoot transition 3s because I'm already in a flow. Because you're floating, it's a harder shot. I've been trying to teach my kids, my 7th graders, because now they're at the stage where physically they're ready to take that next step, and they struggle with it. It's hard to shoot a transition 3. You have to be in rhythm. That's why I get them in rhythm, shoot mid-ranges, and then I bring them back and say, okay, now we're back. You can go out here and you can shoot these 3s in the back. So that's how I do it because it's difficult. It's not easy. It's a hard thing to accomplish, and I do that for them. So those are little things that you have to learn how to do and what to teach as a trainer. You have to understand the game and understand how it flows. So tonight, it's going to be really, really simple. SGA, take J-Dub out, play SGA the first quarter, third quarter, 7 minutes in the second and fourth quarters. That's 38 minutes minimum. J-Dub, take him out, 5-minute mark, first quarter, 5 minutes mark, second quarter. That's 14 total minutes for him. You take him out at the 5-minute mark, so you're playing for 5 minutes of the second quarter, 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's another 10. That puts him at what? 24. Okay, 24 minutes, and then you bring him back in the fourth quarter. In the second and fourth quarter with 3 to 4 minutes to go. Let's say 3 minutes. That's how you win the game. You are a plus 12 with SJ on the floor. You're a minus 10 with him on the bench. And you're going to play him. Well, it's like what Denver's doing. They can't afford to keep a Jokic on the bench. They know that. So they can only hope that everybody's playing good and they can rest him. But if they're not, they've got to put him back on the court. Same thing with SGA. You can't afford to. This is the playoffs. You can't give away a game. You've already given away one. You can't give away games because you're trying to train for the future or you're trying to help. Screw all that. You have a 5-year window as a group together to get something done. You have all players under contract right now. Everybody's under contract. Now you do have to pay Chet. You do have to pay Jade up. And Nathan and I both agreed this summer. Why? Pay him early. It's cheaper. SGA is not, everybody else is paid. The only person really coming up that you really have to worry about is SGA. The next year you pay Kaysen, what? Early. So you can save money. Now you're going to give Kaysen the max? No. But you're going to give him up there where you're going to take care of him. Because that next deal, you got to pay SGA the supermax, $400 million. That's what he's going to get. Which is why he fired his agent, because he doesn't need him. So the Thunder are sitting there pretty. But you can't afford to give away another year like you did last year as a number 1 seed. And Minnesota's handling their business because why? They handled their business last year to get to the conference finals, to lose to Dallas, and Luka just killed them. They're trying to get back. Chris Finch understands, hey, Ant-Man, you the man. What did he happen after game 1 to do? Hey, what you doing? Called him out. What happened? Ant-Man responded. Our coach ain't like that. We have the only coach who doesn't understand that your best player should play on the court more than anybody else. That's not our coach. He's a developer, so he's developing J-Dub because he believes J-Dub is the guy. J-Dub has the most upside. You're high. He's not going to be a 3-time first-team All-NBA 3 years in a row. He's not going to be MVP. It's not happening. It's not happening. What are you doing? It's not happening. So, to me, it's really, really simple. You pay J-Dub and Chet. You pay Kaysen early next year. Then you have to pay SGA as $400 million. But remember, the new contract kicks in, so your salary cap goes up that you can afford to do that. Now, the question is, after that, then that's when things get tricky because you still got to pay iHeart after that because, remember, you have iHeart for this year and next year. That third year, think about that. It's a tough thing. Now, you do have Topic coming in. You have that, so that matters. Now, that being said, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what's going to happen in the future. You have Topic coming in next year, which is going to help out tremendously. It's going to help out tremendously. We would need him this year. God, we'd be really good with him this year. But we're going to be fine for next year. So that's the plan for tonight for the Thunder, okay? Now let's talk about the NBA draft last night. The Mavericks, how about, we talked about this on the show, how about the damn Spurs almost getting another top pick? What the hell? How the hell do they do that? Now, they are going to have the number 2 pick instead of the number 1 pick. But how the hell do they do that? How do they do that? They had the number 1 overall pick. They got David Robinson. Number 1 overall pick, they got Tim Duncan. Number 1 overall pick, they got Wembanyama. Last year, they get Stephon Castle. He wasn't the first overall pick. And then this year, they would have had Cooper Flagg. Are you kidding me? Now, everybody's just debating on whether the Mavericks trade Cooper Flagg. Okay, for Giannis. Now, I'm torn between that, okay, whether you trade him or not. Now, Giannis, you have to give up too much to them because who are you going to give up? Who are you going to give up that they want besides you trading Cooper Flagg, no doubt, to Milwaukee? But who are you going to give up besides that? And you don't have the draft picks because you didn't get them back for Luka when you traded Luka. So that's not going to happen. But my thing is, I'm not going to trade a guy who's going to come in and he's going to be a nice mixture with Anthony Davis and Gafford and Lively. That's going to be a nice mix with those other three guys that he's got out front, Marshall and those guys out front, P.J. Washington and them. Okay? That's a nice group that you've got out there, along with Kyrie coming back. That's a nice little group you got going with all healthy. So I'm not trading Cooper Flag because that's the future. And he would get killed because would they win now? Better chance for Giannis to come to win with them? Yes. But if I'm Giannis, why am I going to Dallas? If I'm Giannis, I want to go to Houston or I want to go to San Antonio. That's where I want to go if I'm Giannis. And that's not fair. To put Giannis, Wemby, they would trade Stephon Castle. He would be gone. But Giannis, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox, that's not fair. That's not fair. The Thunder and everything we've done, that's where we'd end up. No, that's not fair to us. So I think they keep him. I think Nico keeps him because that gives the fan base excited again. You have a generational player down the stretch. Now, I'm not saying he will be. We don't know. But he's only 18. He's only 18. And where does that leave the Thunder? Here comes the Thunder. The Heat, we have the Heat's pick at 15, and then we have the Clippers pick at 24. So that's where we are, the Thunder. And remember, this year we also had the 76ers pick, but they needed to be 7th, and we didn't get it. Let me see. Igor, what do I think about Dallas getting the pick at 1? I think at 1 and 8. I think that's they were 1.8% chance of winning. It happens all the time. There's a one in a billion chance of you winning the lottery. It happens, once a month? So it does happen. And I think Dallas, it's a nice thing for Dallas because of the simple fact that they gave up Luka and the fans were going crazy. Anthony Davis gets hurt. Kyrie gets hurt. They end up getting hurt. And I think they would have been a formidable force in the West had they not got hurt. But they did. So to me, I believe that what ended up happening was the Mavericks season got saved by getting Cooper. But I don't trade him. Just like I said, I keep him because that's the future. And then what do? I build around him. Because Kyrie may or may not be gone after a year. Kyrie's going to stay if he's got Cooper Flag. If Cooper Flag is anything that we think he's going to be, and I've seen the kid play, he can go. Yeah, Igor, they need it for the fans, 100%. That saved Nico. He can now go out. He and his wife can now go out to dinner. They can go to Nick and Sam's. They can go to places. They can go eat out now. They don't have to hide out, so they can go eat. But that being said, the Thunder at 15, the Heat's pick, the Thunder at 24. And remember, guys, you can move up. We can move up. Now, and you look at the teams in front of us, we can probably trade, and we're going to go over the trade here or the picks here pretty soon, right before the playoffs. And we'll probably go over that a little bit tomorrow on who the top picks are. But we didn't get it right last year. I've never picked one player that the Thunder is going to take. I didn't think they would take Chet. They took Chet. I didn't think they were going to take Kaysen. They grabbed Kaysen. I didn't know who the hell Jada was. I damn sure didn't want, oh my God, I forgot his name now. He didn't play. That we gave 3 first-round picks for. And so, remember, we gave up Jaden Daniels for Baisley. I'm like, can you imagine him right now, 6'10", long arms, playing for us instead of Minnesota? Can you imagine Jaden Daniels with us right now? Come on now. But that's what we need. That's what we need. But the Thunder are there at 15, the Thunder at 24. We're sitting there and we're in great position, I believe, to make a move and to do something because we're sitting really, really pretty right there at 15 and 24. Now, once again, your 15 pick, you're going to be a lot better than the 24th pick. Okay? You guys got to get lucky. You got to get lucky kind of like what we did in A.J. Mitchell, getting lucky with him. Okay? You just got to get lucky that far down the thing. But who did we get early? We got Kaysen early. We got Caruso. We got J-Dub early, right there around that 15, 14, 13 pick. And we got Chet. And we traded for SGA. So you sit there and our picks would have done after that. A.J. Mitchell is the best one that we've had, I think. Out of all the picks that we've had late, that's the one that I like the most, which had the most upside. But with Topic coming in, Now we got Topic too, by the way. So with Topic coming in, um, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with him. But that's where the Thunder are sitting right now at 15th, which we could move up. The Spurs are not going to trade with us. I can promise you that. The Hawks might trade with us if we can throw something else in there. The Bulls may trade with us again if we can give them another pick and some second rounders. And the Blazers, I don't think they'd go with us, but the Raptors may go with us and trade with us. The Nets, we know what they want too much because they wouldn't give us what we wanted in the first place. But the Thunder were missing a big 6'9", 6'10", 6'11 that can shoot the three, athletic, can play defense, is physical. That's what the Thunder are missing. That's what we're missing. And if we get that, we're going to be tough to beat, guys. We are going to be absolutely hard to beat if we can get that in the draft. Whether that's moving up, because we've got enough picks. We've got plenty of picks, so we can do that. We can do that. So, but interesting. Congratulations to the Mavericks. But like we said yesterday, we did not want the Mavericks to get him. We didn't want the Spurs to get him. And those are two teams we did not want them to get Cooper Flag. And one of the both of them were there. But if I have my choice between the Mavericks and the Spurs, I'd rather him go to the Mavericks than the Spurs. Because him with Cooper Flag and Stephon and Wemby and De'Aaron Fox, yeah, they're gonna be back to the old Spurs, and the Thunder are gonna be back to where we were and back to where the Lakers were against them, where they were just going at it. It would be knockdown, drag out fights over and over and over and over again. So anyway, hope everybody enjoyed this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Remember, tonight we'll be on, unless it's a blowout. If it's a blowout, I doubt if we'll be on. We'll just talk about the game tomorrow with the Nuggets. Like I said, I hope that we win by 10 to 15 because I want the Nuggets to be able to play everybody so that Thursday will be an easier chance for us to win, because I can promise you tomorrow night the Timberwolves are going to take care of business against Golden State and knock them out. And they'll be sitting at home resting, waiting for us to play them or the Nuggets if the coach does what he does. But we'll see. We'll see if Dagnall chokes like he did in Game 5. Because remember, Game 4 last year, SGA won the game in Dallas. He kind of won the game in Game 4 against the He closed the door on him for sure. Didn't play that great, but he still closed the door and made the shots he needed to make in the fourth quarter. And at Game 5, what is the coach going to do? What is the coach going to do? Is he going to cost us again in Game 5 by doing something dumb by his lineups or what he does, rotation or something? Is he going to screw it up? We shall see. And we'll be on to talk about it. That being said, hey, everybody go out and enjoy this beautiful weather today.